Daggerheart is showing D&D how it's done, Age of Umbra keeps pulling in the viewers, and a magical moment at MagicCon.
Was that a special occasion?
Welcome to Fantasy News Friday on the Character Sheet, your home for the week's biggest fantasy and TTRPG news. Before we talk Daggerheart, Magic the Gathering, Age of Umbra, and more, why not take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us keep this channel growing? And then, let's dive into the news.
Today, we're here to talk to you about something incredibly special.
Critical Role's Daggerheart TTRPG has been firing on all cylinders since day one, but this week they shifted into overdrive as they announced 2 more new classes on their playtest site, The Void, joining the other 2 new classes who both received some major updates in this latest release as well, the Warlock and the Brawler. So for those math fans out there, that is 4 new classes to playtest since the game released barely a month ago. And in the meanwhile, D&D has released a single official new playtest class, the Scion, and has announced the return of a tweaked artificer behind some paywalled content in the 8 months or so since their 2024 Player's Handbook has dropped. So not only is Daggerheart currently outselling the biggest brand on the TTRPG block, which once again is not surprising given its recent release and D&D seemingly completely lacking a major release in the last few months, but it's showing them what it's like to be a company that actually cares about turning out new first-party classes and content to playtest and bringing it to their system instead of just relying on third-party publishers to do their heavy lifting. Daggerheart's 2 newest classes, the Witch and the Assassin, both bring a lot of new elements to the table. The Assassin is that pure damage class fans have been clamoring for, with the ability to churn out some truly terrifying numbers when it attacks, or unleash some serious debuffs with its Poisoner Guild subclass. And the new Witch class is a sort of hybrid between a wizard and a druid, who uses natural and fey forces to drain the life from their enemies to empower themselves or inflict terrible blight damage on them. Both are now available for playtest over on The Void, and if D&D is paying attention, maybe they will realize that just having the same 12 classes for most of the last decade doesn't appear to be what modern TTRPG fans really want. In other Critical Role news, Age of Umbra continues to get strong viewership now that Laura and Liam have joined the cast with their unhinged new characters. As the cast and the game itself grow increasingly more and more twisted and bizarre, the audience seems to be happy to go along for the ride, which is a big departure for Critical Role, who have repeatedly tried to get their viewers into horror or horror-adjacent actual plays with little success. Just look at the viewership for Candela Obscura or the recent Thresher miniseries for examples of that. But now, even just their leveling up video for Age of Umbra is more than doubling the views of their recent D&D Horrified collab. With just 2 episodes left and the stakes and tension rising more than ever, Daggerheart and Age of Umbra have become a legitimate hit for Critical Role, and their first ever truly successful long-term horror-adjacent actual play. And just keeps making that potential choice to stick with Daggerheart for Campaign 4 seem easier and easier to make for the Critical Role cast. The new Dragonbane Kickstarter has ended with over $700,000 raised for its new double sourcebook Kickstarter, featuring its Arcane campaign setting book and its Book of Magic release, which not shockingly features a ton of new magic spells and schools of magic to explore. Dragonbane has been a huge hit for Free League Publishing ever since it was first released, and with the conclusion of this Kickstarter, it becomes the latest huge non-D&D campaign to finish funding during D&D's now alarmingly long dry spell of having not had a single Kickstarter break the $1 million mark. While Dragonbane also didn't quite hit that $1 million milestone, it showed incredibly strong sales for what is basically a campaign setting and a book that only affects the Magic users of the Dragonbane system. And we fully expect to see Free League pushing even more Dragonbane content in the future based off of this recent success. So prepare to explore the back alley intrigue of Arcane and get your Duck People wizards ready to sling some new spells when the Dragonbane Kickstarter books get shipped out to backers in spring 2026. And finally, let's end on a high note with the adorable on-stage marriage proposal between Commander at Home hosts Brian and Olivia at MagicCon Vegas. The 2 longtime partners who've run the very popular Commander at Home YouTube channel, which has recently featured the likes of Matt Mercer several times, decided to make it official with a proposal during their time on stage at the huge Magic convention. And we wish the happy couple many years of ruthlessly counterspelling each other in Magic matrimony. And that's all we have this week for Fantasy News Friday. Let us know what your favorite segment was down in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.